Good morning. Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Friday, TGIF, July the 11th. We're here to look at the new releases that have been published this week. These are the last of them. These are leftovers from Monday and Tuesday, but we want to look at them. We don't want to miss them. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you for watching. If you're watching now, if you are watching later, thank you for tuning in anytime. Appreciate it. Quick announcements. I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do sprints on Friday night. Our next sprints are tomorrow afternoon, Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern, and they go for 5 hours. Somewhere like a marathon. Good morning, Elena. How you doing? It's early for you. And she says, you're good. Oh, good to hear. And just finished reading How to Survive a Horror Story. Yay, congratulations. Woo, good job. Did you like it? All right, let us jump in. I think I didn't check. I think we didn't do this one. I know we did the Katie Watson. No, I think we did do that one. Okay. I think we are here. All right. Mary Seifert, 10th in the Katie and Maverick Cozy Mystery Series, Airplanes, Atlanta, and an Assassin. I would really love us to get past the 3-word titles like this. Oh, but that's just me. High school teacher Katie Wilk is thrilled when her students qualify for Mock Trial America, a prestigious courtroom competition in Atlanta, alongside her best friend and fellow teacher Jane McKee, a team of eager teens and a crew of devoted chaperones. Katie boards a flight from Minnesota, ready for a week of intellectual showdowns. And I have another sneeze and Southern hospitality, but things go sideways, before the plane is even off the ground. With canceled flights, endless delays, and one particularly obnoxious passenger stirring up trouble, the trip turns into a logistical, almost tragic nightmare. When the same rude traveler turns up later in Atlanta, the chaos takes another terrible turn, and suspicion lands squarely on the McKee family. As Katie digs deeper, she uncovers a web of secrets, stolen documents, corporate espionage, dangerous toxins, and enough motive to make her question everything. Can she untangle the truth before the killer strikes again? Luckily, she's got help from Maverick, her sharp-nosed, loyal Labrador. She can take her Labrador on the plane, and trained search and rescue dog who's always ready to sniff out danger. Oops, sorry. A Lark's Regret by Lynn Messina, 5th in the Verity Lark series. If there's one thing Verity Lark finds more unsettling than having to give a shooting lesson to the woman whom she has ridiculed in print for months, it is having to give the lesson on the very same morning her alter ego, Mr. Twaddlethum, publishes an apology for erroneously reporting a key detail of one of her favorite subjects' early murder investigations. The mortifying mistake is made intolerable by the fact that that it was uncovered by a rival gossip for another newspaper. Identifying herself as Mrs. Flimmerflam, she vows to correct a whole host of other misapprehensions about the Duchess of Kesgrave, whom she calls the Murder Duchess for obvious reasons. Oh, but no, her reasons are not obvious at all, for this new scandal merchant believes the public has been greatly misled in regard to her Grace's talents. She's not just solving murders, she's also committing them. It is a preposterous nonsense, and that is to say nothing of her portrayal of Twaddle as a credulous dupe, gulled into a killer, and Verity vows to discover who is spreading the virulent lies, a task that grows immeasurably harder after she finds the gossip's throat slashed. Someone is willing to kill to hide the truth, and Verity has no idea who might be next. That was harder than it should have been. Arsenic and Old Lies by Benedict Brown, 5th in the Marius Quinn mystery series. London, 1928. Mystery writer and amateur detective Marius Quinn is reeling from his friend's murder in his own home. Forced to stay away from the case, he's in urgent need of distraction when fate points him towards Felicity Mortimer, a woman imprisoned for poisoning her husband 15 years earlier. Marius soon becomes convinced of Felicity's innocence, and when he discovers a key witness with his throat cut, it's clear that the real killer is still on the loose. Determined to uncover the truth, Marius drags his partner in crime solving Lady Bella Montague, not to forget his basset hound Percy, to a manor house deep within the New Forest. But what dark secrets are concealed at the picturesque estate where Felicity once lived? As their search for answers stirs up more violence, can Marius and Bella expose a deadly plot before death stalks the halls of Rhinefield House again? Homicide at the Hotel by Carly Winter, part of Deadly Destinations Cozy Mysteries. It says this is a standalone vacation cozy. It's a spin-off from the Haywood Herbalist Cozy Mysteries and book 2 of the Deadly Destinations Cozy. Okay, whatever. Sam Jones and Jordan Branson planned on nothing but sunbathing, sipping margaritas, and indulging in 5-star opulence at a breathtaking Cancun resort. But paradise turns perilous when they stumble upon a shocking crime, a housekeeper's lifeless body in their suite. The local police hint at pinning the murder on them, forcing Sam and Jordan to dive into the mystery themselves. As they peel back the layers of the resort's impressive facade, they uncover secrets darker than the ocean depths. Someone will do anything to keep the truth buried, and if Sam and Jordan aren't careful, their luxurious vacation might just be their last. End of that row. Oop. Antique Hearts and Alibis by J.C. Valentine. And I'm going to say there's another listed here, but it's not an author. Second in the Seabreeze Cove Mysteries. Former corporate lawyer Rebecca Winters has built a quiet life in Seabreeze Cove, running her antique shop Timeless Treasures. But her early release from prison comes with strings. Protect historian Thomas Burke from dangerous collectors seeking a legendary gold rush ledger holding secrets that could reshape modern mining practices. Following cryptic patterns hidden in family heirlooms and historical landmarks, Rebecca and Thomas unravel a web of deception spanning generations. From hidden workshops to high society auctions, they race to find the ledger before it falls into the wrong hands. With Rebecca's sharp eye for forgeries and Thomas's historical expertise, they make a formidable team, if they can overcome their complicated past. But as they decode century-old secrets, Rebecca realizes the most valuable treasures might be hiding in plain sight: redemption, purpose, and a second chance at love. Buried Truths by Tessa Ora, a Maggie Wright cozy mystery. My return to the city was supposed to be a fresh start. My cozy apartment, my dog Biscuit, and a new detective partnership with Harper, not a deadly reminder of the past. But when a forgotten file resurfaces and Jordan turns up dead, I'm pulled into a web of secrets I thought I'd left behind. Worse, I was Jordan's last call. Now I'm the prime suspect. Harper and I dive into the mystery, and the clues only get darker. Files are scrubbed, Callum's story unravels, Lara's key card puts her near the crime scene, and the trail leads to a string of murders that tie back to closed cases. With Biscuit's keen nose and Harper's sharp instincts, we chase a conspiracy someone is desperate to keep buried. It's evident the truth is near as threatening warnings arrive, and a fire triggers my fears. Someone's watching me, and they'll stop at nothing to silence the truth. How not to write a summary. Who are these people? Blue Moon Murder by Hadley K. Knox, 9th in the Blue Lake Cozy Mystery Series. It's Memorial Day weekend in the scenic village of Blue Lake, the first breath of summer in the Adirondacks. The hosts of the popular podcast Midnight Rendezvous arrive in town to record a special episode from the summit of nearby Mount Greylock. Under the rare glow of a blue moon, the hosts plan to conjure spirits from the mountain's haunted past, hikers, Revolutionary War ghosts, Abenaki shadows, echoes, and legends from Adirondack centuries gone by. 5 go up the mountain, only 4 come back down alive. Enter the Blue Lake Detective Agency, an unlikely team of crime-solving shopkeepers led by ex-NYPD forensic analyst Celia Strong. Working together with Sheriff Denny DeWalt, Celia and her friends race against the ticking clock to solve the mystery before the killer strikes again. Meanwhile, local handyman Tony Sullivan wakes up to a mystery of his own. His boat has vanished, but his trailer still sits in his driveway. Tony wants answers, and his boat, as one does. The hair that's tickling me. A Wicket of Lies by Victoria Tate. Second in the Cotswold Antique Mysteries. Dottie Sayers, antiques expert and amateur sleuth, is looking forward to an idyllic afternoon of sunshine, cream teas, and village rivalry at the final of a local ladies' cricket festival. Kia Varma, cafe owner and part-time crime scene expert, is delighted to be on the pitch with family and friends. The stakes are high, but it's all in good spirit until a teammate is found dead. At first, the death seems like a tragic accident, but when Kia is appointed crime scene manager and evidence starts turning up outside the boundary, suspicion begins to spread. With lies spinning like a tricky googly and these are cricket terms, like a tricky googly, and secrets lurking in the outfield, Dottie and Kia must team up with the local police to cut through a pitch of grudges, hidden motives, and long-buried betrayals. Off the pitch, Dottie is facing doubts of her own. Can she let go of her fears and commit to a future with Zach? With a murder to solve and the game underway, can Dottie, Kia, and their unlikely team of village cricketers spot the real villain before someone else gets bowled out? That's the end of our cozies. Not a huge amount, but that's okay. Still a lot to choose from. So now we're going to get to the last of our ones from Tuesday. And I believe we were here. This is crime fiction and thrillers. The Blue Horse by Bruce Borgos, third in the Porter Beck series. A helicopter driving a controversial roundup of wild horses suddenly crashes, and the pilot is found to have been shot. Then the person coordinating the roundup for the Bureau of Land Management is savagely murdered, buried up to her neck, and then trampled to death by the very same wild horses. And there's no lack of suspects. That just hit my brain. Ew. With the Wild Horse Advocacy Group having sworn to protect the horse at any cost. Now the state and federal agencies are showing up looking for answers, or at least a scapegoat. Sheriff Porter Beck has had better days. Porter Beck's new girlfriend, Detective Charlie Bluehorse, arrives to help with the investigation, which leads them to a Canadian lithium mining operation near the Roundup area that sets off Beck's mental alarm bells. Brinley, Beck's sister, is leading a group of troubled kids in a wilderness program when one of them, Rafa, bolts one night. When Brinley catches up to him, they're just outside the mine, in the wrong place at the wrong time. With his personal life in turmoil, too many suspects, and too many secrets, the Fed's pushing for a quick resolution, and his impetuous, if skilled, sister in the mix. One wrong step could be deadly for Porter Beck. The Finer Things by J.D. Barker and Kyle Dunn. In the shadows of 1950s New York, a brilliant mind teeters on the edge of madness. Edgar McGuire's sculptures are taking the art world by storm, but behind each masterpiece lies a horrifying secret. When Fiona, the object of Edgar's lifelong obsession, re-enters his life, it ignites a passion that blurs the lines between creation and destruction. As his art evolves into something terrifyingly beautiful, a trail of bodies begins to surface across the city. Detective George Schneider is closing in, but can he unravel the connection between the murders and Edgar's rising star before it's too late? The Obsessions of Harvey Usher by David Putnam. At 80 years old, Harvey Usher lives a quiet, reclusive life, still grieving the loss of his beloved wife, Sylvia. But when a stunning redhead named Rita shows up, claiming to be his wife of 2 years, Harvey's carefully constructed world begins to crumble. As Harvey struggles to expose Rita's deception, dark figures from his past emerge from the shadows, forcing him to confront the violent secrets he's kept buried for 5 decades. With the help of his elderly neighbor Esther and a troubled PI named Eddie Gursky, Harvey races to uncover Rita's true motives before it's too late. But in this deadly game of cat and mouse, nothing is what it seems. As bodies start piling up and long-buried truths come to light, Harvey must decide who he can trust and whether some sins can ever truly be forgiven. The Silence and the Rage by Pierre Lemaitre. It is 1952, and the grown children of Louis Pelletier, a prominent businessman with a dark past, have settled in Paris. Jean, the menacing eldest brother, is trapped in a stifling marriage, his days lightened only by his love for his 3-year-old daughter. Meanwhile, the bloody consequences of his violent impulses threaten to catch up to him at last. Francois, an up-and-coming reporter, is caught up in a turbulent love affair with an intriguing woman who isn't quite the person she pretends to be. And Hélène, their younger sister, strives to make her own way as a journalist as she fights to expose a vast industrial scandal. But as a woman in a man's world, Hélène's devotion to her career comes at a life-threatening cost. Fast Boys and Pretty Girls by Lo Patrick. They say you can never go home again, and sometimes you shouldn't. Following a semi-successful career as a teen model in New York City, Danielle Greer has moved back to the mountains of North Georgia and is living in her childhood home with her husband and 4 daughters. One stifling, lazy afternoon, the girls are exploring the ravine behind the house when they come across a body. Danielle knows the body doesn't belong to Benji Law, a younger local misfit who Danielle had an illicit relationship with as a teenager. No, his body was found right away after he was killed in a motorcycle accident on the road in front of her family's house. Danielle has a good idea who the body might be, but she doesn't know how it got there. When local police officer Katie Benson is called in to investigate, Danielle's world is turned upside down, and she's thrust back into those dark, confusing days leading up to Benji's death, battling the things she remembers with the things she can't forget. This is a slow burn Southern mystery with devastating characters and a twist that will leave you aching, exposing the all-consuming obsessive power of first love and what it can do to a person. And that is all we have. At least we weren't completely rushed, so that's good. Well, we will end early today. Hope you are having a good Friday. Hope you have a good weekend. Be cool, stay hydrated, read good books, and as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day. God bless.